Hi guys! So this is my final Valentine's Day look, and I decided to go with more like intense retro kind of. The outfit's more for, I guess, like a sexy Valentine's Day, and then my makeup's gonna be kind of more of a traditional retro, but it's gonna all make sense. I guess I'm kind of going for like the bombshell, femme fatale kind of look for makeup, and then the outfit definitely fits more the femme fatale with like kind of rocker edginess. Um, but I'll get into it right away. Unfortunately, I started on this yeah, this eye. I usually was doing this eye and then doing this one on camera, and I switched it because of how I kind of position my camera now. Anyways, so I started doing this eye, and I better put my hair back. But I started doing this eye on accident. This is the finished eye look. And so I used Urban Decay's The Great and Powerful Oz. I have both the Theodora and the Glenda palettes, and I used some shades from both. I already put on both my lids Illusoire because I forgot, and I had Maybelline's primer color tattoo in Barely Branded, which is just the beige color. So I did that, and then I put the Illusoire all over the lid, and I put West under my eye already. Now I'm going to go on to using Beware, which is kind of a mid-tone brown, a lighter mid-tone brown, and then I'm going to also wear Beware West in my crease, and I'll show you guys that. And then I used this shade here, which is Broken, on a few different spots too, and I'll say that. I should have those names right. I looked them up beforehand. So to begin with, I guess I'm going to go on to the crease. So I have Illusoire just all over my lid. I didn't do anything special yet. I just accidentally started doing it on that eye. So I'm taking that shade, Beware, on a 286 brush. And I'm just putting that windshield wiper wise in the crease. This is just to add dimension, and so my lid doesn't look just like a wash of the champagne color. And I love the look of the champagne instead of a real true neutral color. It just brightens up the eyes and makes them pop enough to compete with red lips, but not overpower them. Now, taking a little bit of West, and just focusing that mainly on the outer crease, with a little bit of blending towards the middle, but definitely focusing more on the outer end. And you can see how that added more dimension than just the regular. And I'm going to wait to do highlight. So that's actually eyeshadow done because I went ahead. And West, I just did a tiny line under my lash line with, I'll tell you the brush real quick, 209. So just a really thin brush. Just makes it a lot easier to line. I can feel either a brush hair or my own hair. That's a little goofy, but I'm going to curl my lashes, and I've got one coat of mascara on, of course. I'm going to go on and put another coat of the L'Oreal Lash Out in Butterfly. So I'm just making sure my lashes are separated, and that I'm coating as many of my lashes as possible. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry and go on to cheeks. On my cheeks, I decided to use Benetint just because it's like a natural flush, and that kind of fits with long lastingness. Plus with the red lips, I wanted something that kind of made sense with red lips but wasn't going to compete again, but complement. So I'm just gonna put it on the apples of my cheeks where I would naturally flush a little. moving it kind of down. And after I do one, I kind of decide if I need another, which I would say one more isn't going to make me look like a clown. Usually I can do 2 coats, especially if I've already applied my facial makeup and I've done like my full makeup, so I've got powder and foundation and concealer on. This just blends really nicely with it. And then also to blend it in, I like to take just what I used for powder brush, and I go over it real quick. Just kind of blends it nicely in with the rest of my face and sets it even more because it's a stain. And you can see it kind of stains my fingertips a little bit. I'm going to take my Benefit Watts Up to highlight. And I can do that real quick there. Because this is more of a bombshell look, I definitely did my full contour and I'm doing full highlight because that really makes a bombshell look. It's sort of the full face effect of it. So I'm going to take real quick my 224 in Amber Diamonds from Dior, just my all-around go-to highlighter. And I'm going to use that on my nose and my brow bone. I'm using a 224 to do that part. And then I'm going to use my 130, I believe, yep, to do my cheeks and my temples because they're a little bit bigger facial area. Okay. And now I can go in and curl my lashes again. And if you can't tell, my mirror's here, so if I'm looking kind of off, that's why. Now I'm going to take Physicians Formula Liquid Eye Booster in black. It's just a really thin brush. And I'm doing a thicker line than I usually do, including starting at the inner corner. I usually do such a thin line, but I actually used a false lash strip instead of individuals, so thicker is sometimes easier to work with. And I found for a classic eye, they usually did thicker liner. And I'm not winging it out, which is very odd for me. Sort of like a natural thing to try to want to wing it out. Okay. And I'm going to let that set too. And go on to just doing liquid liner on, or gel liner. This is L'Oreal Blackest Black Gel Liner, which is my standard. And I'm going to do that on my upper waterline. The focus of this look is really obviously on the red lips, but then the eyes add like a good framing device, and I think the lashes and liner is what makes it pop with the champagne. I really like these eyeshadows. I haven't used them in a while, and I feel kind of silly because I do love them, but I just never reach for them. And then NYX Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil. I'm going to use this just as a base on my inner corner to really help broken pop when I put it there. So now that I've done that, I can go in and I'm going to take my 224 to begin with, and I'm using that broken shade, which is the super light one, to highlight, which reminds me of Strange, which is in the Naked 3 palette. For like permanent shades, I could see you could use Cork as the Beware. West, you could almost use any shimmery mid-tone dark color. It's really the Champagne Illusoire that's the hardest one, I think, to find a dupe for me, because a lot of them are more nude tone, or not nude tone, but more natural, like your eye color, and I really like the way this pops. Now I'm going to take 266 brush and use Broken on that. It's just a small angled brush. So it helps me really get into my inner corner for me. And I sort of layer that on heavy because it'll just naturally fade. Plus, I tend to do this a lot on my eyes. You know, if they bug me, it's because they usually are watering in the corners. So, that eyeshadow's completely done. And I can go in and do my lashes, which I'm using Revlon, I believe, and I don't know which ones these are, but you can tell they're kind of the more natural ones. They remind me of a more natural version of my Demi Wispies, which I kind of don't mind having that as an option compared to the Demi Wispies tend to look very fancy smancy. And I'm using just Salon Perfect Brush On Lash Adhesive because they didn't have the Revlon stuff when I went in the one time, so I definitely prefer that, I think. Even though this is clear, I like getting the Revlon lash glue in black. I think that looks really good with liner and blends very easily, which is very important. Though this one just disappears too, so it's not bad. It's just if Revlon was there, I would have got that, and this is definitely a great backup one. So I'm just gonna let that sit for like 30 seconds-ish. But you can tell I just put on the thinnest little coating of it and wait and wait and wait and wait. Luckily we have lips left, so while this dries and gets on my eye near my lashes, I can go on to lips. And then I just try to place it as close to my lash line as possible. And I will say, when I wear a strip of lashes, I will bring this with me in case a corner comes up or something. I can fix it, which is the pain in the butt, but it happens with lash strips, and it's worse of a pain when you don't have a liner or anything. A liner. I'm thinking about the fact I have to do my lip liner. If you don't have your glue with you. Okay. Now I'm going to take Rimmel 1000 Kisses Stay On Lip Liner Pencil in Red Dynamite. I'm just picking this because it's the only red lip liner I have. So anyone will do. It's actually more blue based than I would like, but with the lipstick it'll tone it down. I like this liner for more blue toned, that's for sure. Which you'll kind of see what I mean when I show you my outfit and also what I'm actually using on my lips. The two I was trying to decide between, which I look really funny because I didn't do my whole lips. The two lip products I was trying to decide between is the Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm in Striking. So this is just a matte red. It's definitely a red red. And L'Oreal La Lacquer by Colorish in I Lacquer You A Lot. I love this. It's the only one I got, but I chose this one just because it seems to match the colors more. This one's kind of a truer red, whereas this one's more of an orangey based red. So I'm going to use this. which is sort of like a lip liner to begin with, but an actual pencil is more precise. So the matte would be a cool finish, but I think that lacquers themselves are more traditional of a finish for red lips, for like the olden days, a classic look. And because I went with more of an orange tone, that's how I'm bringing in a little bit of the modern flair. The only thing I will say is the red brings out flakes sometimes, so my lips are super dry lately. I'm not sure why. It's just softening the edges. And that's lips done. Super easy, simple way of doing it, and they're super bright. I don't know how much on camera it looks, but it looks really cool, I think, with the eyes. So now I can go on, and I'm going to do my mascara. And I'm using the Butterfly Lash Out mascara just to coat the false lashes and make them blend with my real lashes, so they don't look so thin and foreign compared to my lashes. Then you can play around and make sure they're even too, of course. But I believe that is the whole look. I would use probably my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Oh, I did forget one step. Maybelline the Rocket Express Volume, or Volume Express, and that goes on my lower lashes to give me even more of a framed eye. Really quick and easy. So that is the finished look. And for the rest of the look, I did, I can move my mirror now. I'm wearing, let's see, this is a bracelet from Little Black Bag, but any kind of gold cuff sort of thing. And then I'm wearing two different earrings from Betsy Johnson. So, if it'll, so black and red, red and black, and then black and red. I just got two of them so that I could purposely mix and match them. I really kind of like that for some reason. And then you'll see why I chose this lipstick now. My dress is like a tomato red. So it is from Victoria's Secret online quite a while ago. I don't think they have it anymore. And the reason I really love it is it has a zipper up the back and it sort of crisscrosses. So that's kind of a really cool design. I had it in black, which is obviously much more wearable, but the problem is the zipper broke. So this one hasn't yet. Hopefully it never will, but the whole zipper broke and it's a big zipper, so one day hopefully I can fix it. The jacket itself is from Macy's, and it's a Material Girls, but I like it because it's got like a leather look and is really fitting. Looks kind of nice with the back, and I think it looks really nice anyways. And then my shoes are also from Victoria's Secret, and they're black heels, and they're actually pretty comfy because they've got such a platform, but there's gold details on them, so they go with like my gold jewelry. The only thing silver is really the back zipper, so. And that's the finished look then, so it's definitely more of a fun go out look. Very femme fatale, and if I was gonna do this probably to actually go out, I'm gonna change for the day and not wear this anyways. I would probably do like very vintagey curls so that it's just like the vintage waves, a la Lana Del Rey does them now. So I would do that instead of just leaving it, but just so you guys have an idea of what this look would be like for me. But I will talk to you all later, and I've got to decide on one of these looks for actual Valentine's Day. It's gonna be hard, but have a good Valentine's Day, and see you guys later. Whoop, if I can find my stop button. Do you guys sense that every time I go to stop, I have to like find it? So I'm like, goodbye, and then I'm like, okay, anyways, I wish I knew how to edit. I could cut out like how awkward I am all the time. Bye!